Yeah, you and... Hello everybody, good evening and welcome to the United Stands. I'm Mark Goldbridge and this is your watch-along for Borussia Dortmund against Manchester United as we complete the US tour. How are you all doing? I know some people have started talking about going to bed a bit early because they've seen that United side that's starting next to me tonight. I wouldn't be too concerned about it, if I'm being honest. Obviously, it's not the team that we would have expected Manchester United to start with, but it doesn't mean that the second half team won't be the first half team. That doesn't mean the second half team won't be the strongest team. As you can see, you've got Tom Heaton starting with the Lowe, Maguire, Lindelof and Brandon Williams, McTominay, Van der Beek and Eriksen, and then Forson, Pelistri and Jadon Sancho. I mean, there's still players in that are exciting, but obviously this is not the team we expected. It hasn't got Bruno and Rashford and Onana in it and everybody else, but it's still, I think that team will play in the second half, and we'll have to just see. I mean, SMMS says straight away it's a bit of a boring team. Well, look, at the end of the day, if you start the strongest team at the start of the game, my concern is that he plays this team for an hour. I mean, I wanted to see the first team play for an hour. That's what I wanted to see. I'm worried about Sancho, says Aquasi. Well, there's lots to talk about there. I mean, one thing I would say is that the captain of this team is actually Scott McTominay and not Harry Maguire. So, read into that what you want. I mean, Ten Hag don't mess about, does he, when he takes the captaincy off him? So, look, yeah, I mean, I get it. There's a lot of people that have paid good money to go and watch this game over in Vegas, and they'll probably look at it and go, you know what, I didn't pay good money to watch Harry Maguire and Brandon Williams and Scott McTominay and Tom Heaton start the game, but ultimately... Eric Ten Hag is the boss. Now, if he brings out the first team in the second half, I think it's fine. If he plays this team for an hour, I think it is a bit of a piss take, to be honest. But on the levels of piss takes, he's the manager. You know, we go with what the manager does. No Garnacho mark either, says Tons. I believe Garnacho is on the bench. I'm not totally sure about that, but I'm pretty sure that he is on the bench for Manchester United today. What I must say as well is, before we talk about the Dortmund team, let me just confirm and remind you that we are sponsored by OneFootball on this US tour watch along. What's OneFootball? Well, it's a free downloadable app. Links in the description. Or you can scan the QR code next to me. Get all your latest breaking football news and transfer news for free on OneFootball. Download it on Apple and Android for free, as I say. And the great thing about OneFootball is that our stats, which are powered by OneFootball, will give you all the shots and the percentages and the possession, etc., in the corners. But with their stats, they do it individual by the player, so you can look at tackles won, passes made, etc. So make sure you check out OneFootball. A fantastic little app there for you. So let's just have a quick look at the Dortmund side. They do have some good players. They have Malen, they have Adeyemi, Moukoko, just as their attackers. They'll have people like Brandt and Chan and Sule and Schlotterbeck and lots of good players, but this is what they're starting off with. Kobel, Haller's playing, Hummels, Wolf, Brandt, Sabitzer starts, Malen, Chan, like I say, Sule, Ryerson and Adeyemi. So they've got a bit of a mix going on in their team as well, but they're starting certainly stronger than ours, which will be a bit of a test, I think, for Manchester United. There is a little bit of concern about Raphael Varane for Manchester United as well. I must just draw your attention to that Raphael Varane is not on the bench for Manchester United today. He will not be playing any part in this game. I can confirm the bench for Manchester United is Bishop, Onana, both goalkeepers, Evans, centre-back, Fernandes, left-back, Martinez, Shaw, Wan-Bissaka, Bruno Fernandes, Casemiro, Gore, Hannibal, Mount, Anthony, Hugel and Rashford. So Garnacho is not on the bench either. No Garnacho and no Raphael Varane in the squad at all for the game today. And I've played the game. I'd like to see Rashford and Sancho together with Rashi left wing and Sancho false nine, says Jude. Well, of course, in relation to the striking situation, we do have Rasmus Hojlund coming in, of course, so that will be a positive for United. But I'm not going to lie, I'm not overawed by Jadon Sancho as a number 9, and I don't see a future in it. And I quite respect the question or comments. Welcome to Members Club, Tonzalo, as well. Thanks very much for tuning in and being a member. I do have concerns about Jadon Sancho, and I think the person who put it in the chat is right. Just Keevan says Sancho looks happy and he's playing against his former club, but where does Jadon Sancho fit in? All tour he's been playing up front. Is that an indication that Ten Hag thinks so highly of him that it's like, you'll go back on the wing, you're just doing a job for me? Or is it like he's playing him up front because he doesn't want him on the wing, and when Hojlund's here, he won't get to play on the wing? I don't know. I don't know what the future is. Jared says, I'm going to struggle staying awake watching this team, says Jared. Yeah, so it's not the strongest United side, as you can see. The first team is on the bench. Look, somebody said, why do you think Ten Hag's done it? My initial thought is that he'll give this lot 45 minutes, then he'll give the first team 45 minutes, and if that's the case, that's not too bad. If he gives this lot 60 minutes before he brings the first team on for half an hour, I just think that's just a bit naughty, really, when a lot of people have spent a lot of money to watch Manchester United play on the East Coast. The first team hasn't played on the well, I suppose, no, they haven't. They haven't played on the East Coast. They played Real Madrid in Houston, and they played Arsenal in New York. So we haven't played the first team on the on the West Coast. So I think it would be a bit naughty, really. But Ten Hag does what he wants, and that's why I like him. He's ruthless. But my concern would be if he gives the team that he started here an hour, because he might be thinking next weekend I've got a game on a Saturday and I've got a game on a Sunday. I don't know. But really, by this stage of the season, I would have thought he'd be playing his first team for an hour. But Ten Hag does what he wants. He does his own thing. Do you think Hojlund will be ready to play one of the friendlies versus Lens or Bilbao next weekend, says Arturo? I think he's got a good chance. That's a good question, by the way. I think there's a good chance that Rasmus Hojlund will play in Dublin against Bilbao a week today, or a week yesterday now, because it's Monday, isn't it? And I would expect that Rasmus Hojlund will be officially holding the shirt up on Wednesday. I would therefore expect him to be training Thursday, Friday, and therefore I would expect him to be on the bench for the Bilbao game, because he has had a pre-season at Atalanta. He was going to play yesterday against Bournemouth, so I don't see why he wouldn't be involved. Varane out, early warning signs. PS, thanks for the content, Mark, says Ali. Cheers to all of the United Stands team's hard work over the past few weeks. Thanks for everything, Mark, says Justin. Still feel like... Chiri says, I still feel like we're light up front. Hojlund is not enough, and because Martial is not reliable, we're going to get another January Weghorst in. And I hope you're well, man. Come on, United. Can't wait for Rasmus to start playing for United, says It's Your Boy. Oh, yeah, just can't wait for it. Can't wait for it. I just want to say big shout out to everybody. I know it's something that our worldwide fan base do week in, week out, but it is 2 o'clock in the morning kicking off this game. And of course, it is technically a Sunday night going into a Monday morning, so a lot of people have got work tomorrow. So fair play if you're tuning in. I wouldn't miss it for the world. I didn't actually have a sleep. I did tweet out that I was going to have a quick sleep. I'm glad I didn't. I think I would have struggled if I'd had a couple of hours to get up. So I just decided to do some bit of paperwork and stuff and kept myself up. I do feel tired, but you know, it's a small price to play. Arnold is doing a good job just before the club is sold. Perhaps he's fighting for his job. Shane Wood never had such pressure, says Daniel. Do you really think that, though? Do you really think that Richard Arnold's doing a good job as the CEO of Manchester United? I mean, he spent 160 million on 3 players, at pretty much the price that you would pay, and it's the start of August. I mean, I don't get that. I really don't get that. I don't get that. Mark, welcome to Members Club. Do you think this is a final audition for some potential sales for some? Could potentially. Good point, Rasta. Great to talk to you on United on TalkSport earlier. This is Shane. Sorry, couldn't think of another striker option than Morata. Oh, I know who you are now, Acid. Thank you very much. You did very well. We had some really good calls on TalkSport today. But yeah, look, there's a lot of people out there that suggest that Richard Arnold and John Murtaugh are doing a good job. I don't think they're doing a good job. I think they're doing an okay job, and I think United recruitment should be doing a great job. But signing Onana, Mount and Rasmus Hojlund for market value by the end of July, I mean, so if they're doing a great job, what's Arsenal doing? An immense job? I think we've done better than we've done in the past, but I'm not going to start praising incompetent people. Really happy with Rasmus, but can you explain how Murta spent 3 months negotiating with Atalanta just to get a 5 million discount? This is Mario Franca. We didn't get a 5 million discount either. Just look at, well, you don't have to listen to me. Listen to what Romano said. Listen to what, and it's nice to see Erik ten Hag hugging Sebastian Haller here, former Ajax player of his. Obviously went through a bit of a cancer scare as well, so nice to see them united there, and Martinez is having a chat with them as well, so he's loving it. Ten Hag's having a right good cuddle with him and he's enjoying it. I think Anthony's there as well. Lovely to see. Yeah, look, the price for Rasmus Hojlund, as I said on the morning show, was quoted at 50 million euros. That's what Ornstein and Romano confirmed on Wednesday. We ended up paying 70 million. I don't know. I personally think, as I said this morning, I think that just comes down to Erik ten Hag getting pissed off with the club and saying, look, I need a striker. Well, what do you think? What do you think you're doing? Get on with it, basically. And obviously that's what's happened there. But that's the starting lineup for Manchester United. As you can see, it's the B team. There's no doubt about that. And if you want to know who the captain is, by the way, it's Scott McTominay from that team. So Harry Maguire, I mean, maybe you don't want to read into it. Maybe you do want to read into it. But, I mean, Harry Maguire not being the captain in a team like that, I mean, what does that mean? What does it mean? Because some people say it means next to nothing. Personally, I think it means quite a lot. I mean, you're the captain of the club last year. You hold the trophy up with Bruno Fernandes at Wembley. And the next summer, you are completely ignored as captain in every pre-season game, even when Bruno's been playing in different halves to you. We've seen Casemiro captain the side. We've seen Varane captain the side. We've now seen Scott McTominay captain the side. I don't think he's had the captaincy removed from him. I think he's been removed from the leadership group. And the leadership group will contain people like Luke Shaw, Tom Heaton, Rafael Varane, Bruno Fernandes, Casemiro, maybe even Marcus Rashford, potentially even Scott McTominay. So Maguire has basically been... I don't know whether he's looking to sell Maguire. Maybe he's not going to sell him now that Disasi's gone to Chelsea, which I wanted to talk about. Yeah, it's... you know, I think there's a few people coming back from that US tour with some serious conversations that they need to be having with their agents, and Harry Maguire's got to be one of those. Dean Henderson's move to Nottingham Forest is now in jeopardy. They're apparently going to go for Turner from Arsenal, so Dean Henderson's going to put himself in a right bad position now, because remember what he said last summer, I wanted to get out before Ten Hag came in because he'd want to play me, and he's spent the last few weeks with Ten Hag, and if Dean Henderson doesn't get a move to Forest, that's bad. That's bad for Man United, and it's bad for Dean Henderson because, I mean, at least with David De Gea was sort of coming towards the end. There might have been an opportunity there. He ain't got no chance of taking Onana's place, has he? I'm in Vegas at the match for my first time in person. Let's go Reds. I'm more than an E fan, says Oki. Hope you enjoy it, pal. He has hired Ten Hag, signed players for the manager instead of commercial, and most importantly is allowing Ten Hag to assert authority. Good, but not amazing, says Daniel. And, mate, I'd sack Arnold and Murta, and I'd sack the lot of them if we get new ownership. And not because I don't like them, but because if I buy a football club that's been failing for the last 10 years, I want my own people, I want the best. Do you know why Onana isn't in the team at all after one game, says Kevin? Yes, I do. For the same reason that Bruno Fernandes is not playing. Rafael Varane, Martinez, Luke Shaw, Casemiro, Marcus Rashford, Anthony, and every other first teamer. He's picked his B team. That's why Onana's not playing. One thing you might have missed from today, that's the Dortmund team, by the way. One thing you might have missed from today that I wanted to bring in as well, it might not mean much to you, but Axel Disasi of Monaco is going to sign for Chelsea. So, coming into the summer transfer window, Erik ten Hag's priority was Kim Min-jae, and we know that Kim Min-jae went to Bayern Munich. His second centre-back choice was Disasi of Monaco, who is now signed for Chelsea. Interesting, is it not, that Erik ten Hag's top two centre-back targets for the summer have now signed for other clubs. What does that mean? Well, it means they've signed for other clubs, but what does it mean now as a fan? What would you do? Would you be looking to buy your third or fourth choice and sell Maguire, or is it getting to the point now where you just think, look, Maguire's unambitious, he doesn't want to leave anyway, may as well just keep him as the fourth choice centre back? I don't know. I throw it to you because I don't know. I even said it to you. I didn't even know much about Disasi from Monaco. I mean, that for me is, if we sign him, it's just completely back the manager. I don't really know much about him, and that amazes me. And I bet Chelsea fans don't know much about him either. But if he'd have been signing for United, I'd have been great. Welcome. This is what Ten Hag wants to do. But for a 25-year-old centre-back, it's very rare. You don't really know much about a player at 25. So I don't know whether we've missed out on a good player there or not. We'll find out. But I just don't know what you do now. We clearly want a centre-back. He clearly wants to sell Maguire. But does it get to a point where you just can't get the players that you want? I don't know. Tom says, morning, Mark. I hate that. I don't like that. Do I not like that, Tom? Morning. I've not even been to bed yet. About time we started charging ridiculous prices for our players, says Tom. Hope the missus doesn't catch me up at this hour. I've got work at 8 o'clock. Tired at the start of the week, Tom. Where the fuck is Anthony Martial? It's time to learn Arabic, says Sultan. I think he's trying to sell him to Saudi Arabia. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. We've got nearly 12,000 of you watching. Please do subscribe to the channel. Bottom right-hand corner. My alarm's just gone off, saying 15 minutes to kick off. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. Get involved with the United Stand, the biggest and the best fan community on YouTube. And please do smash a like on the video. You're very, very welcome. And thank you for the super chats that have come in already and the new members. Really appreciate that. It feels a bit different doing stuff at this time of night, doesn't it? But you're very welcome, as I say. Sean says, stop whining. We get up at this time all the time. And Sean, I hope you're being a bit of a joker there, because I have never failed to, in the 7 years. United Stand, it's our 10th year anniversary next year. 2014, United Stand started as Soccer Box. It had a name change just before Christmas of 2014 to United Stand. But this time next year, it's 10 years of the United Stand. I can't believe it. And throughout that 10 years, I've always said that, and I've always been a staunch defender of our European Manchester United fans who get up at all sorts of hours to support this club. And we will always continue to do that. But I'm not going to say that it's easy to be watching games at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, because it's not. So therefore, you are to be admired. And will be, and always have been. Frederick and Matt, thank you very much for joining the Members Club. And Binny says, the reason why the B team is starting is because the first team have underperformed with much less intensity against Madrid, says Binny. I don't know. I don't know about that. Why is Varane not on the bench, Mark, says Choose. Well, hopefully we'll get some comments from Eric Ten Hag that I might be able to tell you why he's not on the bench. But Garnacho is not on the bench either. So look, maybe it's a precautionary tale. I don't know, but I guess Ten Hag might have said something about why that is the case. I'll certainly try and reach out some comments for you from Eric if he's spoken. I'm not sure he has. I can't find anything at the moment. Let's have a look. Van der Beek and Ericsson, and that will be interesting. No, I can't see any comments from Eric out there at the moment about it. So who knows? But we also know as well. Look, we know with Varane, we already know this, don't we? And maybe that's what Scott. I mean, look, I hate to say this, but if you're Harry Maguire, you will never admit it publicly, but if you're Harry Maguire, you must be sort of thinking, a Varane injury might help me out. How do you feel about Amrabat potentially joining the club? I bet he can offer a lot more than Ericsson, says Jonathan. I look at that squad of Manchester United. I think you're quite rightly, we look at the striker position and say, even with Hojlund, have we got enough? But I still get tired, literally, I was yawning there, but I still get tired of the biggest issue in that team that I don't hear it enough. I see it in the chat a lot, but I don't hear it with the experts and I don't hear it with the journalists. and I don't hear Ten Hag being asked about it enough. Tell me, if something happens to Casemiro, what happens to that team? Seriously, what happens to that team if something happens to Casemiro? Because we haven't got any defensive cover in that midfield. And don't talk to me about Scott McTominay, because he hasn't had a good game for United in a year, and he certainly isn't somebody. Well, he plays hide and seek at CDM. I think McTominay, if there's anything notable about Scott McTominay's game, it's his ability to score goals from the midfield. He's not a defensive midfielder. So yes, Amrabat is a very exciting prospect to bring to Manchester United, because he will bring some defensive stability that we just don't have, and some defensive flexibility and cover. And I would hope that he'll play a lot of games with Casemiro, but he can also do the Casemiro role. Paulson says, I've got a banging hangover and now I have to watch Scooby-Doo and Maguire, says Paulson. And well, at least you look forward to the second half. And Robert says, why is Onana not playing? I thought I would be great time to integrate new players, maybe in the second half. Oh yeah, we'll see them in the second half, Robert, 100%. It's just how long. And Utrecht says, good evening. If we go for Amrabat, is that it? Or can we get a backup striker, says Utrecht. Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Because I think if we get Amrabat, we've spent about £200 million, which is what I predicted we would spend. But you look at Arsenal, they've got Rice, Havertz and Timber, and it's cost them 200 million quid, and now they're bidding for David Raya for 40 million. So Arsenal are going to go in excess of 240, 250 million. So I mean, you'd hope United have got another signing in them. And look, for what everybody says, oh, United are having a really good summer, I can almost see a situation where our net spends 100 million, because yeah, we've spent 200, but I could see us, we should still be able to sell about 100. Bloody hell, look at Vegas. It's just so flat, isn't it? The stadium looks very, very nice, though. At work, and I'm watching this, says Lance, what do you think of Sancho being used as a false nine, and Ten Hag's comments of trying it during the season? Welcome to the Members Club League. I'd love to be proven wrong on the use of Jadon Sancho as a false nine, but I think we saw against Real Madrid it was completely ineffective, and I suspect it might be the same in the real season. I just don't think Jadon Sancho covers worries good teams as a striker. I just don't. Look, for it to happen, you're asking me to say something's going to be successful on no evidence. He's got to change a lot of his game. It can happen. We'll have to wait and see. But I don't see him getting many games as a false nine, really, anyway. If Martial can maintain some level of fitness, and you've got Rasmus Hojlund and Rashford, I don't see Sancho getting game time as a false nine. Have you looked into the financial fair play claim by United? We are projected to have made 1.6 to 1.7 billion and spent 860 million plus agent fees and sign-on fees. Avedon, that's just numbers to me. At 2 o'clock in the morning, I don't know where you're pulling that from. Hi Mark, are we playing the kids against Lens or Bilbao? Because I'm going to Lens and didn't realise I'd potentially have to watch the kids, says Rohan. Well, look, you as you can see in this game tonight, there's no guarantees of what Erik Ten Hag is going to do. I can't predict that. What I can say is that we've got a scenario where I would expect, and don't hold me to this, I would expect, remember we're playing against Sabitzer tonight as well, I would expect Ten Hag tomorrow, at the weekend, we play Lens at Old Trafford at 12:30, and then we're playing in Dublin at, I think, 4 o'clock. On Sunday, I would expect Erik Ten Hag to mix and match. And what I mean by that is he might pick a team like he's picked tonight against Lens, with maybe Bruno and Rashford and everyone on the bench, and they might play half an hour. And then he takes the same squad over to Dublin and picks the first team, and then gives the reserves half an hour. I think that might be what he does, but he might not do that. Do I think Arsenal are going to sign Kvaratskhelia? I say just a rumour going round. I mean, I'd be stunned if they do, but if they did, it would be impressive. Seems to be a lot of empty seats in Vegas, which is surprising because Juiced says, "I love your commitment, Mark, and cheers from the US." Yep, seems to be quite a lot of empty seats here. I suppose they saw the team news and went home. No. Mark, just wanted to say your work on this channel is amazing. I sometimes wake up at 3 or 4 a.m. to catch your morning shows and try to start my day off with it, says Parser. Well, thanks for the support, mate. And I think the great thing about this channel is the community. That's what makes it. Don't forget, we're sponsored by OneFootball, by the way. Download it for free. Links in the video description. And you can get all your latest breaking football news and transfer news and individual player stats on there. Our stats, which are powered by OneFootball, are all the team stats, but you can get your individual stats on there. Thank you to Parser. Welcome to the Members Club, Tom. In fact, you can see the stats up on the screen there. Tom McKinley is our latest member of the Members Club. We are 5 minutes away from the start of this game. Players are coming out. Why do Glazers want 8 billion now, says Supercar? Because they're greedy. They're greedy, you know. Juice WRLD's going to bed and then getting up for the second half. Look, I'm not going to lie. There's players on my left that I don't want to be at the club anymore. Rob says that Deitch has been quiet recently. Well, you know, at the end of the day, I've got a big season coming up, and yeah, I'm not doing that. Not at 2 o'clock in the morning. You nearly trapped me there. I don't want to be doing that. Players coming out onto the pitch here. What players would I specifically get rid of from that starting lineup? Heaton, Maguire, McTominay, Donny, Williams. Yeah. I wouldn't get rid of Sancho, no. I can certainly see great improvement in the performance of Man United in the upcoming season, says Kamara. Good. And awesome, it's a 3 p.m. kickoff here in Hawaii, says Andrew. And let us know where you're watching from around the globe in the chat. And also give us your predictions. I mean, it's hard to predict. It's hard to do a bloody match reaction. Well, it's not, actually, because you tend to talk about, you know, the gaps in the team like we did. Remember the 3 things we said after the Real Madrid game, and let's see if there's any difference today. I think the 3 things we said, that there's a massive drop-off when we play the reserves from the first team. And we also said that the striker situation is a huge problem. And I forget what the 3rd thing was, actually. In the press conference, Erik ten Hag said we will start a strong lineup, and then he starts these players. Can't believe his words ever, says Richard. And yeah, that's what I was going to say. A lot of people are saying that he's gone with the second team because they were more impressive against Real Madrid. I actually thought there was a massive drop-off, again, when we played the second team against Real Madrid. I actually just remembered the 3rd point. I think the reason Real Madrid dominated is because we had no number 8, because Mainu came off and Eriksen wasn't very good, and the midfield wasn't very good in the second half. I think we got dominated in the midfield. So that was my 3 points, wasn't it, from Real Madrid? 1, we haven't got a bloody striker and we don't create chances. 2, the drop off from the first team to the second team is huge. And 3, the midfield, when Mainu went off, never recovered. So look, let's see if we can be better against Dortmund, who aren't as good as Real Madrid. Can we be more on the front and create chances? And can we be better in the midfield? Ian O'Connell says, I'm watching from County Kerry in Ireland. I hope you're keeping well and really enjoying the tour coverage. Looking forward to the game in Dublin, says Ian O'Connell. Well, Ian O'Connell. Thank you very much for tuning in, mates. Appreciate that. And Tom Kent woke up at 12 a.m. Hopefully this team can put on a show for us. I've watched every game so far. Come on, United, says Tom. Well, it's the last of the early kickoffs for us, isn't it? For the UK-based fans. He's an interesting one, Brandon Williams. He looks like he's really enjoying himself at United. He said it's his first pre-season. Obviously, he spoke to the United stand after the game, and I mean, look, he came across a lot better than he has done in the last 12 months in relation to some of the things he's been up to. But there's a lot of empty seats on the far side there. Bloody hell. What's the capacity here and how many did they sell? Look at the other side of the pitch. Scotty's my captain, says Robert McCormack. But yeah, if you're Brandon Williams, I just don't know. You've got to back yourself, haven't you? Hello from South Africa. It's 3 a.m. kickoff here, says Tyrese. Thanks for joining us, mate. It's an 80k capacity stadium, and they only sold a quarter. It's very, very empty, that is, you know. I didn't realise. I just assumed it was going to be a sellout. Is it the Etihad, says Herminator. Oh, are you the Etihad in disguise? There's a lot of empty seats. But yeah, going back to Brandon Williams there, I mean, it's almost like for some of these players, Pellistri, Van der Beek, Maguire, we've mentioned before. What does a good game do for you? Are they too far behind? You know, even good performances, are you too far behind? Maguire knows he's 4th or 5th choice centre-back. Donny knows he's 5th or 6th choice or 7th choice midfielder. Brandon Williams, does he know he's 3rd choice fullback? I mean, is there a way back for some of these players? Tickets were very expensive, says Nicholas. And morning, Mark, watching from Sydney. Normally I'm up at 2 a.m. watching. Love the channel and all the content. Thanks for everything you do, says Stassi. There we go. Thank you very much. And Lubo's watching from Melbourne, Australia. The games are finally during the day for us. It's an 11 a.m. kickoff. There we go. Thank you very much. Make sure you subscribe, by the way. Bottom right corner. There's Sabitzer, look. Didn't get his move to Man United. Having a chat with Jadon Sancho. Could have been for Sabitzer. It just didn't quite work out. Could be a challenge for United this first half, but I think we'll be all right. I'm going to predict it on first and second half, and we've just kicked off here. I think that for United, it's an intriguing one because the first team isn't that good. To be fair, Mark, the first half team's not as good as the second half. To be fair, Mark, there is a lot of fair weather fans in Vegas and tickets were very expensive, says Arturo. Well, I don't know actually. What's the population of Vegas? Let's Google it. Las Vegas. Yeah, it's less than 1 million, 646,000. That's not very big. For America. Adiemi's a baller, says Andrew. Yeah, the Dortmund teams, you've probably seen it going round. Sebastian Haller's playing, of course, but we're up and running here anyway. Tommy's going to score a banger, says Hunt. Weekend, the population doubles, says Utrecht. Good interception by Delo as he brings it away down the right-hand side. It's a nice little ball into Donny. Just getting a grips. Interesting thing about this midfield three is that Eriksen's playing in the holding midfield role. And it's Dortmund on the attack, and it's an early chance, and it's a shot straight at Tom Heaton. That terrifies me. Eriksen is playing as the holding midfielder. His lack of mobility. So McTominay is actually... I'm trying to see where Scott McTominay is here. Eriksen's definitely playing in the holding role at the moment. Oh, no, no, McTominay is. I think it was just that one phase of play. It looks a little bit... It looks like we're playing a 2. Alex says, thanks for your streams. They put a smile on my face. No, McTominay never plays the holding role. He plays the hiding role. Good tackle there, but Sancho's got it on the edge of the box. Goes wide to Delo. Cross comes in. Oh, Palestri. I'd love to see Palestri getting on the ball a bit. Yeah, McTominay definitely is the one in that role. Ollie Sheehan, smoothest looking pitch I've seen the ball. It's just zipping around. Thanks, Ollie. Hi, Mark. I was supposed to be at the game. There are a lot of cancelled flights. I believe the stadium is empty as a result, says Olivia. And Jebby is gifted as a membership as well. Appreciate that, everyone. Thanks for tuning in and get involved. Lindelof plays it forward. Palistri tries to get hold of it. Fans are booing Harry Maguire at the game every time he touches the ball, says Taco. I don't know. If people are complaining about the clock, I can't do anything about it because I haven't got my manual timer set up on this computer today because I had a problem the other day. So that's pulling in a clock that comes with the stats. So yeah, I can't do anything about it, I'm afraid. But I'll certainly keep you up to date with what's going on. Nice ball out to Forson. They're saying that Varane and Garnacho are precautionary, but Ahmad has a knee injury, says Soupy, and Taco is gifted as a membership as well. Cheers, pal. I'm not saying right is wrong. It's up to us to make the best of all the things that come our way. So sailing home with acquiesce, on a ship of hope today. And as they stand upon the shore, tell them not to fear no more. Might be able to sort the timer out for you. Because I'm good at that sort of stuff. United on the attack with a throw in with Dalot. Right. Okay. Let's have a look. I am so good. I'm so good. There we go. I'm so good. I'm so good. I can solve problems when I'm live. Right, I've got 7:27. Sort of thing I can do at 2 o'clock in the morning. It's amazing, really. I am. You're right. There we go. So, what? Why has it gone to 6? I'm not on 6. I'm on 7. There we go. There we go. Sorted it. Clock bridge. There we go. I just can't be doing with letting you down. I don't like letting you down. So I'll put the time in to make it good. Good play by Pellistri, cut back. I think it had gone for a goal kick anyway. Thoughts on Disasi to Chelsea, and should United have bought him for that much? Personally think Todibo from Nice is better and cheaper, says Robble. I just don't think United can afford to spend 45 million euros on a centre-back at the moment. So, yeah, it's like we couldn't afford Kim Min-jae either. So I think with a centre-back, it's just the fourth priority. Probably the fifth priority, isn't it? We just haven't got the money without selling players. I think it's the same as Kim Min-jae. Hi Mark, love your channel. You have genuinely helped me with depression. You make me laugh every day. I recently saw the video of Alex and it made me so sad. You're a genuine, kind guy. Thank you very much, Thomas. I think I know which video you're talking about. And finally got the chance to send super chat, says Taco. Sent for today. Keep up the good work. Thanks, Taco. Legend. Ross is going to the match in Dublin. Pellistri fire, says TK. Well, United are doing all right. You know, we're having the better of the play, as you can see, with 70% possession. And there's a corner here for Manchester United, won by Brandon Williams, which Harry Maguire will be getting excited about, of course. Doesn't look like we're going to whip across in. There's not a lot of space here for Forson to actually whip across in, actually. It's pretty poor. And headers cleared away. Back out to Forson on the left-hand side. But United's fitness has been good in this first half. I'll give it that. We've looked the sharper team. Joy Boy says we've still got no end product, and that concerns me. Do you think Pellistri needs to be loaned out, says Matt? Well, I don't know whether he needs to be loaned out. Do I think he will be loaned out? Yes. I just don't think Ten Hag played him enough last season. Maguire's just given a foul away again. I don't know why I'm laughing. It's not funny. Dortmund just having a little bit of possession here. But United have won it back. Sancho lays it off nicely into Eriksen. Gets it wide to Forson. He's got a bit of time here. He's got Delo on the overlap. Probably delayed that, but he's got it back. And then Dortmund win it back. But here's Donny. Donny on the spot. Lindelof into Brandon Williams. Now Maguire to Eriksen. Just passing it around the back a bit. And he goes back to Heaton. Told you, says he's told his missus he's working. Maguire getting pressed there. Heaton into Maguire. Forson loses it. Good. When Dortmund are on the ball, we've been quite well organised, I'll say that. McTominay jumping in. Good pressing. Mark, do you think there is a bit of complacency with the first team every time they've played? They've looked lazy and lethargic, says Hector. Well, I think I'm genuinely going to be interested in the second half to see how long he gives them, whether he's going to give it whether he's going to give them half and half. Forson's awful, says Detta. I think it's an options thing, to be honest. Good tackle by Maguire. It's an options thing, really. Really good simple passes and runs. Ricky's dream, says Mario Franco. Scott McTominay's the captain. Jimmy. Scooby-Doo. Good play by Dalot. Into Scooby-Doo. Into Donny. Out wide to Palestri. Go on then. Take him on. Take him on. Lays it off. Forson's got it. Going to use Dalot, surely. Goes for the shot. Bit greedy. Bit greedy. Bit greedy there. I think with Forson, I mean, who else would you play? He's clearly going to play a front three of... but I don't know what front three he's going to play in the second half, because he's got Anthony, Rashford... obviously, Ahmad's gone home. Loving the vibe from all these pre-season watch-alongs. We appreciate it, says Fennick. Thank you, mates. Eric's not happy with Harry's pass here, says Tapper. And keep one and send one on loan. Ahmad or Palestri, says Chiri. I think as long as they've got a future, there's nothing wrong with going on loan. I'd rather go on loan and play most weeks in the Premier League than sit on the bench and never play. So there's nothing wrong with going on loan. I think some people look down on going on loan, but what I don't want to see is Palestri going on loan to fucking Utrecht or something like that in the Eredivisie. I don't think that helps. If Palestri or Ahmad are going to go on loan this season, I want to see them going on loan to the Premier League, someone like Everton or Bournemouth or something like that. Ahmad should not be going on loan to the Championship either. Lucy says, I love Sancho, but I don't like him as a 9. I think we've done all right this first 15 minutes, considering the players that are playing. I mean, the only players that I really think that are starting here that have got first team capability are Lindelof and Dalot, and Sancho in a different position. Chase says that Lindelof is pushing into the DM position. But we've been the better team in the first 15 minutes. Here's Palestri on the left-hand side. It's gone for a goal kick. Dortmund haven't done much. I think Ten Hag should swap Forson and Palestri. I think the link-up play between the creativity of Dalot and Palestri could actually be nice to see, says Jaron. And I thought I'd start drinking at 10 p.m, Mark. Now I can see 44 players on the pitch, says Tony. He's having a good time. Tony's having a good time. I will do a Premier League prediction video, Jack, but it's 2 weeks till the start of the Premier League. Matt's just gifted 10 memberships as well. Matt, you're a legend. I mean, absolute legend, Matt. Brilliant. Mark, what are the odds we sign another forward, says Ollie. I'd say low. I've seen a couple of people doing Premier League predictions videos, and I'm like, here's Palestri. No, sorry, Sancho. He's done well there. Worked hard to get it on the flank. Yeah, I don't know why you do a predictions video 2 weeks out. There's like so many more signings to happen. Here's Sancho, gives it into Donny. Lovely ball into Forson, gets it back. It's Ericsson actually. Now it's Dalot. Lindelof. The pace of the game's a bit slow. I'd say that. Hojlund is an unproven 20-year-old with a huge price tag looming over him. A lot can go wrong, but I hope to God it works out. So I think it will work out. I mean, you can never say never, but I think it will. Lovely ball to Forson here. And he's hit the cross badly. Lorcan says, who will we sign instead of Disasi now he's gone to Chelsea? Maybe we won't. TK says Sancho's cooking. Might be watching a different game. He's doing all right. I don't think anybody's really cooking, mate. It's 0-0 and we've not really created any chances, have we? Muted the TV to hear you play-by-play and enjoying it better, says Ivan. Do you think Scott is staying as they made him the captain, says Ivan? I just think McTominay and United have missed the ball with McTominay. 27 years of age. 30 million offer. Is he going to play loads of football next season? I don't think so. Will he be worth more next summer? I don't think so. Delo and Williams have been strong here, says Alec. They've got forward well. The fullbacks have got forward well. I'm sure Delo is going to be the starter in a couple of games, says Casper. Can I just take the opportunity to thank you, Mark, for your hard work and commitment? I really appreciate what you do, says Joy. Thank you very much. Got nearly 15,000 legends watching tonight. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the super chats, by the way, as well. I hope he changes it at half time. I hope he doesn't give them an hour. You want to see the first team play, don't we? I think we're finally seeing Sancho at peak fitness and 100% effort. The more he plays with this effort, the better he will perform on in the season. I'd like to see him back on the wing, playing like this, with this effort, yeah. It's clever by Ten Hag as well, because you play on the wing, you can coast it a little bit. Here's Dortmund on the attack. Good shot from distance. I think it was Adeyemi again, but you're not going to beat Heaton from there, and it was straight at him. Adeyemi and Malin, I mean, they'd be always players I'd be looking to buy on FIFA a couple of years ago. Is Dublin game the last friendly, says Shane? I suspect they might do one behind closed doors, but yeah. Timothy says the negativity around the Hojlund deal from the mainstream is absurd. Hold on, Palestri's got it on the wing. Into Sancho, wanted a 1-2. Dortmund defend well, goes back to Palestri out on the wing again. He's got to go back. United players definitely looking sharper. McTominay wants a penalty. No, never going to happen, Scott. Scooby-Doo. The negativity around the Hojlund deal from the mainstream is absurd, says Timothy. Let's have a look. No, never a penalty. McTominay, don't you start diving. It looks bloody terrible. Nah. They wanted United to get Kane so bad they won't give Hojlund a chance, says Timothy. Well, it's... Yeah, look. The negativity from anybody around the purchase of Rasmus Hojlund is hilarious because, one, we were never going to buy Harry Kane, and two, it's not going to work. Like, there's so much excitement around Hojlund from Man United fans already, and he's only 20 years of age, so there'll be natural patience. So I'm excited about it. If United accept an offer for McTominay, but he doesn't want to go, then there's not much you can do, says Mark. Exactly. It's a comfy slippers thing, isn't it? Oh, Dortmund in the box. Some people are just too comfortable at United. I mean, it's a great club to play for, but some people would rather sit on our bench than go and play football elsewhere. What can you do about it? Sean says, I'm loving Palestri. He's a proper old school winger. Well, as you can see, we've definitely been the better team. 65% possession. I don't think they've had they've had a couple of shots from distance. Hanif says, keep Palestri and sell Ahmad. Why is it always got to be either or? And BVHV says he's actually really happy that we didn't get Disasi. I don't know anything about him to know whether he would have been a good signing or not. I've got to be honest. Loving my first summer as a United Stand spectator, says Joel Az. Thank you very much. And Exploding Coda says it looks like they're avoiding Donny van der Beek. Right, here we go. Maguire with space to run into. Plays it behind Delo. It's got to be in front of him, Harry. McTominay with a bit of space. Into Brandon Williams. Palestri wins a free kick. As a Dane, I think it's absolutely stupid how people think it's a dumb signing of getting Hojlund, says Akam. He's probably not going to get an amazing season in his first, but he definitely will be class. And Zach says, sorry, Zach, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. Liam says Palestri keeps the ball so close to his feet. I like Palestri. I just don't get the feeling Ten Hag sees him as part of his immediate plans. JRE says, sorry, I will be yawning. It is the early hours. Hi, Mark. I've been struggling with sleep. Any advice to help? Also, keep up the good work, says JRE. Wow, I mean, I tell you what, I can give you a bit of advice on sleep. I sometimes do it. If you go on YouTube, which you must be on now to watch this, so what a stupid thing. If you go on YouTube, of course you go on bloody YouTube. What a goal. What a goal. Absolutely brilliant. It's Delot. It's an absolute cracker. What a goal by Delot. Rip, pick that out. What a hit. He's had a great half. He has. He's been one of the standout players, energy-wise, in the first half. Delot. Free kick comes in, comes to him on the edge of the box. Donny lays it off, whips it lovely into the top corner. Keeper's got no chance. Right on the edge of the box, gets it out of his feet. Bang! Lovely, lovely hit. It's a lovely hit. Somebody thinks it's. I tell you what, it's a great goal. It's even better from behind. Absolutely brilliant. It's from behind. It's brilliant from behind. It's not doggy style. It's Delot style. And it's absolutely incredible. The curl from that behind is brilliant. It's right in the top corner. Top bins, exactly. Brilliant goal. And he's had a good half as well. And it's only what we deserve. We've been the better team. It was hotter than the sun, that shot, says Thomas. Yeah, JR shortcuts. If you're on YouTube, type in white noise, brown noise, put it on high, darkened room, listen to that noise. It's quite relaxing. Always gets me to sleep. Mark, who do you see Ten Hag starting, Hojlund or Martial? Also, do we need another backup striker? I don't know, Matt. I mean, look, Martial's got to get fit for a start, and that doesn't happen very often. Another corner to Manchester United here. Let's just wait and see. Headed away. What would you think if we had a luxury tax like Major League Baseball? It would allow teams to still spend big, but they are taxed past a certain point, and the tax goes to those beneath the cap. I don't know, Joe. I don't know. You're talking about something I don't know. Derek says Palestri's giving them nightmares at the moment. We are definitely fitter than them. Something just came into my mind about Dortmund. When does the Bundesliga start? Bundesliga doesn't start. It does start the same weekend as us. Well, no, it's a cup game for them. Chelsea are staying in the US for a bit longer. They're playing Dortmund on Thursday. And then they play Ajax. Good play by Dortmund here. Could get a shot off. Straight at the keeper. They've had shots, Dortmund, but they've all been straight at the keeper. Is this season make or break for Sancho, says Connor? I mean, I don't like those sort of pressures, but I think it has to be, yeah. Because it's season 3. Omar says, Mark, I know it's pre-season, but I still want to keep Donny. The thing about Donny, Omar, is that it's not counting telephone numbers, it's counting midfielders. How many midfielders do you want to keep? Like, there's too many options. You've got Casemiro, Amrabat, hopefully, Scott McTominay, Ericsson, Mount, Bruno, Mainu, Van der Beek. You can't have 9. You can't have 9. I like Donny, but I just don't. I think I think the most important thing to consider here is that. Oh, what's going on here? Bit of pushing and shoving with Forson. And Adeyemi. Didn't see what happened. I think he might get. He's going to have a word with them both. Hi Mark, do you have any updates on the United sale? I feel like the Glazers are staying. Nothing at the moment, Jesus. I think he's going to book them both. Tell you what, say what you like. There's a lot of aggression in the Man United youth, isn't there? I mean, you had the keeper who would have been sent off but didn't get sent off for what he did against Mullins. Gore got sent off. It's a bit silly, really. Nothing really. I didn't really see anything in it. I'd put my hands up. I didn't know nothing about this foursome before the tour. So, you know, we live and learn. Cook says Casemiro would have got a red for that. Hold on, Lindelof just flicks it back to Heaton. So 1-0 after half an hour. Cracking goal by Delo. United's fitness levels are definitely up on Dortmund. You can see the speed. Not just fitness as well, just the way that we've moved the ball. We've been the better side. Looks like we've had more of a pre-season than Dortmund, and that's what... Look, pre-season can be very deceptive. I mean, I've seen United... We saw it last year. Didn't we, against Palace and Villa? We looked way better than them. Way better than them on the tour. And Liverpool. And then we lost our first 2 games of the season. But I think what we're starting to pick up from Erik ten Hag in last season's pre-season and this season's pre-season is that he clearly works them really hard on fitness, because we do look very sharp. Mark, I wonder if the halftime show will be Sulai doing the truffle shuffle, Palestri making him look silly, but geez, who do you eat this off-season? Who did he eat this off-season, says Gummy. He's always looked like though, Sulai, or Sully, or however you pronounce it. I can't understand why people are still asking why isn't Onana starting. Do you not look at the team and realise the whole team is a B team? Why is Onana not starting? Why is Onana not starting? Why is Bruno not starting? Why is Rashford not starting? Why is Casemiro not starting? Why is Martinez not starting? Because it's not the bloody first team, is it? Here's a nice ball into Sancho. Not a very good cross. So much space for Sancho there as well. Bit disappointed with that. Didn't need to whip it in so early. Could have took another touch. No one's anywhere near him. Lovely ball by Donny. Look, he's got his head up there. You can see he's just got it wrong. I can see what he's trying to do there. He's seen Palestri. He's just got the cross wrong. I don't think any United players had a bad half. A lot of people saying Sancho's played well, Palestri's played well, Donny's played well, Delo obviously's played well. But I don't think any of the... I mean, look, Forson might look a little bit out of his depth, if I'm being honest, but I think everybody's looked sharp. Are you saying Maguire's played well? Well, no, look, I can't produce magic, but I mean, I wouldn't say he's had a bad game. He's done okay. Is Delo second choice right back, Mark, says Ali. Well, look, at the start of the season last year, up until the World Cup, I thought Delo was fantastic. Came back from the World Cup, got injured, Wan-Bissaka came in, and Wan-Bissaka was the better right back in the second half, and quite rightly and fairly won the place. But look, I like Delo. I think he's got potential that he could be our starting right back. You want a battle. Niall says Delo or Wan-Bissaka is first team coming on the second half. Well, for me, Wan-Bissaka starts at right back because you don't... Pre-season's deceptive. Where would our B team finish in the league, says Miles? Well, these are the sort of questions I don't want to answer because people start overhyping pre-season. Like, Tom Heaton's made a couple of catches and a couple of saves, and I guarantee there'll be people in the chat saying we don't need a reserve goalkeeper because we've got Tom Heaton. I mean, that's the sort of pre-season shit you get. Pre-season Perlos is a ditch, yeah. I don't Good play down the left-hand side here between Williams and Donny and Palestri. We're just a lot sharper than Dortmund. You can see it. You can really see it. We're just quicker than them. Adel says, what's your thoughts on Dortmund? They look a week behind us. I don't know whether they are, but they just don't look anywhere near as sharp. It reminds me of the Palace game last year. We look a lot sharper than them. JP makes a great point. I haven't even noticed Sabitzer. Do you think 70 million for Hojlund is that much in today's market, says Ian? I think we've overpaid a bit, but ultimately I wanted that player. Ziad says, are you worried that Dean Henderson might stay, Mark? Mate, I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered because you know what? When he stayed when we had De Gea, I was a bit bothered. Here we go. Good shot. Ooh, good shot that was. Dean Henderson. Tom Heaton gets hold of it. That was Adeyemi again. Really good power in the shot. I'm not worried about Dean Henderson if he stays because I think if De Gea was here, you know what the press are like and some of our fans, they'd be like, Dean Henderson should be in goal. Dean Henderson should be in goal. He's never going to get the place over Onana. The press can try if they like, but he'll never get it. So I'm not bothered if Dean Henderson stays or not. If Sancho can improve his pressing, I don't see much difference between him and Martial. Oh my God. Similar pace, finishing and technical ability. I can't believe what I've just read, Caleb. And you've been a member for 13 months. So now, after a couple of games up front in pre-season, Jadon Sancho's the same player as Anthony Martial. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Palestri's just been fouled here. Good run. Gets fouled. And Hummels, I think, has been booked. Eriksen is dictating all our plays. He's like our Muller in a way. His work goes unnoticed. Also, who do you think is United's best transfer ever, says Parser? I'm stunned by some of the chat we're getting. So Sancho is now as good as Martial. Eriksen's now like Thomas Muller. Oh. Palestri's up all right. Well, he's warming Anthony up to come on already. 35 minutes. Wonder what that's all about. Well, Eriksen's on the free kick here. Maybe it's for Forsen. He must be taking Forsen off. Anthony's got his top on anyway. He's ready to come on. Eriksen with the free kick. I'd get Anthony on. I think it's a good idea. Oh, good free kick by Eriksen. Keeper palms it away. 36 minutes. Donny is a great player. It pains me that he's constantly overlooked. His IQ isn't appreciated. It would be such a waste. Miles better than McFred, says Kalen. Good shot. Good save. Well, let's see what he's going to do here, Ten Hag, because Anthony's definitely coming on. 35 minutes gone. He might just want to take Forsen off because he's been booked. It looks to me like it's Forsen coming off. Let's have a look. Maybe just wanted to give him 35 minutes. Yeah, it is. That's fine. Forsen off, Anthony on. He's telling him off, Ten Hag. Pointing the finger at him anyway. He's getting a scolding, that's for sure. Got his arm round him. Don't know what he's saying. But he might be having a go at him for being a bit petulant. It's all a part of the learning curve. You can't argue with that. Those illusions often come when you watch football at 1 AM, dreaming while watching, says Addy. Yeah. Got to take that into account, I suppose. Heaton looks good. Don't need a backup. Says it's all there. It's all there. It's CJ. I knew someone was going to do that. But it's good coaching from Ten Hag because what if he keeps him on for 10 more minutes, puts another stupid tackle in, gets yellow carded, gets sent off. It's preventative. And also, I think people like Anthony need as much minutes as they get, because we talk about what a big season it is for Sancho in Season 3. It's a big season for Anthony in Season 2 as well. Detta says, I love the way Ten Hag talks to the young'uns. If we're going to play Mount, Casemiro, Bruno and Eriksen, would it be crazy to suggest putting Eriksen on the right? Says Mandude. That's now the worst chat of the lot. Of course it would. How are you going to put Christian Eriksen on the wing? He's slower than McGran. Rest in peace. Palestri, lovely ball to Donny. Little flick. I think we deserve a couple of goals. Forson was still talking trash to Adeyemi, and the fourth official went over to Erik Ten Hag to warn him, according to ESPN broadcast. Well, there you go, Jeff. That's why he's done it. It was only training, but this team spanked the first team yesterday. Things to prove. Hannibal impressive, and against Wrexham, Adam's a local celeb now. Says AB. I don't know whether that's true. Cross comes in. Maguire's header. He's so good at winning headers, he just can't direct it. I mean, I don't know what that was there, but United have won it back anyway. It's Sancho. Lovely pass. Eriksen back to Sancho. Nice ball again. The cutback would have been on, but he hasn't got the pace. With how often our backup goalkeepers play, don't really think it matters too much who it is, says Alex. And LM9 says Delo should try a midfield role like Trent, good on the ball, and Aaron Wan-Bissaka will be starting it right back. Forson's come off and Anthony's come on. Yes, you should have it on your screen anyway when it goes round. 5 minutes to go to half time. United have been very impressive. Dortmund look a bit behind us fitness-wise. Donny needs game time this season. He's classed as Ghost. Well, look, anybody who's saying we should keep Donny, I was going to say that. What you're not considering is, will Donny want to stay and be 6th or 7th choice midfielder? I don't think he will. I think he'll be asking to go himself. Nice to see Sancho running past defenders and having confidence. Hopefully we see the Sancho Dortmund source, as Dan. And Lucas says, can you picture any other signings after Amrabat? I'm still holding out for hope for us to unload Maguire and replace him with a fresh new centre-back. Well, of course, Lucas, the centre-back we wanted was Kim Min-jae. It's a good turn by Sancho, and it's a bad layoff to Donny. That should have been a chance. Kim Min-jae's gone to Bayern. Disasi's going to Chelsea. So the question has to be, who would you buy? Lovely turn by Sancho. Should have got the pass to Donny right, but we'll take the corner. Cameron says Dortmund are giving us a lot of space. I just think they're just not as fit as we are. Donny keeps it in. We've been very sharp. Low again. Sancho goes wide. Here's Anthony. Less said the better about that. Mark, I rarely get to hear you live being in the America. It's a true pleasure, says Ian. Please know my 3rd-year-old says every morning, oh man, not Mark again, while we listen to the morning shows cooking breakfast. Oh, Ian, thank you very much for the super chat. Yeah. Anthony just put a cross in that wasn't the best. It's amazing how often Anthony is off radar with his left foot, and yet that's his strong foot. Right, here's Dortmund on the attack. Good play. And it's 1-1. I think it's Malin who scored. And it's probably on Delo. I'd have to watch it again. It's a bit disappointing. Ten Hag will be disappointed with this because we've been the better team this half. Cross comes in. Yeah, it's Delo's man. He's got to be tighter there. might have got a penalty in the build-up as well. Not a lot Heaton can do from there. I mean, he's literally 6 yards out. Yeah. Williams is getting the blame in the chat. Williams got cooked, says Louis. Oh, I think it's going to be 2-1. It is 2-1 to Dortmund. Malen at the double. Oh, man, that's a joke. I know it's only pre-season, but it's frustrating from United's point of view because we have been the better side. And then to go in 2-1 down, I don't think Ten Hag will be very happy. Williams at fault for both of these goals, I think. Lindelof, well, no, it's Lindelof's pass. You can say Williams a little bit, but it's Lindelof's pass. I mean, Maguire's never going to make the recovery either. Sloppy defending. Switched off. Don't deserve that. Williams needs to switch on here. He's having a bit of a torrid time there. And I tell you what, I think the mood Ten Hag's in, he will definitely be having a word with his back four and saying, what's going on? I'd need to see the first and second goal again. I'm sort of shell-shocked there because I think we've been far better than them. And it's a bit of a smash and a grab. And you do want these things to happen in pre-season, but then again, you don't want a lot of these players to be playing next year anyway, do you? It is the B team, but they'll just be really disappointed. I'm disappointed for them. I think based on that first half, we were better, sharper, fitter, happier, more productive. And then we just sort of fell asleep a little bit defensively. And look, that's your job, defending, isn't it? Referee's going to blow for half-time there. So it is 2-1 to Dortmund at half-time. Now, will we see a mass changes at half-time? I think a lot of people will hope to see that. But, yeah, a few people going in on Brandon Williams. I'd have to see it again. I certainly think the first goal, Delo, could have been tighter. I certainly think the second goal, Lindelof, could have done better. But that doesn't mean that there wasn't others at fault in the goals as well. Let me just stop the clock here. Stop the clock. Stop the clock. Did you just do a Radiohead reference? I did, Tarek. Yes, I did. So give us your thoughts on that at half-time. I'm just going to grab the stats at half-time so we can do that. Remember, we're sponsored by OneFootball. Malen's got 2 goals there, as you can see. Take it and pause it. So we've got that there. We'll have a look at that, but give us your thoughts. What were your thoughts on that at half-time? Alex says, with how often our backup goalkeepers play, don't think it really matters. I've done that already, and we've done that as well. So let us know your thoughts. Sometimes these bad things are blessing in disguise, says Joseph. Watch it again. Both Williams and Maguire's poor positioning, says A-Key. Brandon Williams is gone, says Black Sheep. Mark, reckon Delo could put a shift in on the right wing, says Josh. Sabitzer in the middle of both of those scores, says Temple. We do have a defence on, and Martinez and Varane are out. And hi, Mark. Hope you're well. I think Sancho has been strong this pre-season. Let's hope he can build on it. Big season needed from him. Well, look, my general thoughts on that half are that, you know, taking away the last 5 minutes, which were disappointing, I thought we played had a good intensity, we had a good energy, and I think we were the better team. Kaylin says, what are your honest thoughts on Donny? My honest thoughts are, I think he needs to go, not because he's a bad player, just there's a lot of players ahead of him. But, you know, you switch off at the end, and that's something United need to work on anyway. We know about this mentality. We had it last season as well. Unfortunately, we can ship goals very, very quickly in the wrong circumstances. We saw it at Anfield, we saw it at the Etihad, we saw it at St James's Park, and we've seen it there. It's a mentality issue in the team that we can just drop our heads in short periods and, you know, double whammy. Esteban thinks there's still a player there for Donny. Look, I'll say what I've said about Donny before. There's nothing wrong with Donny. He's a good player, but you've got Casemiro, hopefully Amrabat, McTominay will probably stay, Eriksen's going to stay, Mount, Bruno, and then Mainu. So Donny would be 8th choice, maybe 7th choice. It's not good, is it? But looking at the, and I think he will want to go himself. But look, we've had 67% possession in that first half. We've had 8 shots to 6. They've had more on target. We've had way more corners. Pass completion rate up at 91%. We shouldn't be losing that game 2-1. I think the stats bear it out. We've been good on the ball. We've been more possessive of the ball. We've had more corners. It shows we've been the more progressive team. But what I'll say again is, Deleu's goal was absolutely incredible. If he tried that 10 times, he wouldn't score it 10 times. He's been absolutely incredible. The 2 goals that Dortmund have scored, we'd all expect to score those at that level. So how many clear-cut chances have we created again? And I've got to go back to it. That's the only negativity I would say. I think we've played well. I think the intent's been good. I think the possession's been good. That's borne out by the stats. We've been quicker than them. But yet again, you know, people are going on about Sancho. They're going on about Donny. Where are the clear-cut chances? Where are the chances to score the goals? What chances have we had that you'd go, we should have scored that? We're not creating good chances. Nothing wrong with the performance, but where are the chances? And you look at Dortmund, they've not had the possession. They've not had the speed that we've had, but they've had 2 clear-cut chances that they've taken. And sometimes, if I'm Ten Hag, I'm saying, look, we've been the better team, but you can't say that we don't deserve to be 2-1 down because they've created better chances. And is that because we've contributed to that? Of course it is, but we need to create better chances. That's what we need to do. Graham McGregor, welcome to Members Club. Thank you very much. And if anyone else is worried about Anthony, says Ross, be tempted to try both Garnacho and Sancho ahead of him at the moment. His end product is just woeful. Big season, Ross, for Anthony. Defensive errors are the problem, says Fee. We should have lost. Okay, Sancho was great on the ball, best player on the pitch in my opinion, says Alicia. But you know what? I do agree with you, Alicia. I think Sancho had a good game, but he's the number 9. Where's the goals? Where's the chances? And where's the future in it? Sancho needs to go back on the wing. I agree with the previous point there, but at the moment we haven't got a striker, so he's having to play up front, and he's doing a good job up there, but there's no future in it. I think pre-season's been a weird thing for United as an attacking team because we haven't got any fluidity in the final third. Undefeated's not happy with Eriksen. Sancho's been all right, says Anakin. Last pass just isn't quite there at the moment, says Synthesis. I'm waiting to see these goals again. Let's see what happens. Analysis. Now we'll see that the Delo goal was absolutely fantastic. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right hand corner. Very much thank you for tuning in and watching with us this early hours of Monday. Well, it is for us in the UK. Forson wasn't very good, says Ethan. Obviously he was subbed off. I think that was a bit of a yellow card and that. Andy Cole will probably blame Onana, says Will. And Sancho is playing really good. I don't think we can press like this with Rashford, Palestri and Donny also really good, says Gregan. And we want to play from the back, but a midfielder didn't want to come and collect the ball. Watch Casemiro come and collect beside a defender. McTominay was hiding further up the pitch, says Naz. And our wingers are just so bad and average, says Savage. Yeah, but I thought Palestri played quite well. Sad thing is, City's B team would batter Dortmund, says Reb. Yeah, but we should be winning that game. We should be winning that game. They're just gonna show you these goals again here. A lot of people asking about Donny. Legit Adnan says, what do you think about Donny? There's 2 things to say about Donny. One, he's 6th, 7th choice. whether you like it or not, he's behind Mount, he's behind Bruno, he's behind Eriksen, he's behind Casemiro, he's behind McTominay. So he's 6th choice at least, and Amrabat could come in. So that's a problem. And second of all, he knows that and probably won't want to stay himself. Donny will not want to stay as a 6th or 7th choice midfielder again. I think he will hand a transfer request in. So here's the first goal. Williams gets done. And then Delot should be tighter. Maguire's not really doing a lot. Yeah, Williams gets absolutely done on the left-hand side. And then Delot's not tight enough to Malen. So the first goal, you could say fullbacks really. Maybe Maguire a little bit. But for me, it's predominantly the fullbacks who are at fault on the first goal. They've shown it a lot of times. How many times are they going to show this goal? Tom, thank you very much for your super chat there. Has Sancho found a Yardiger pace or are Dortmund just slow? Says MDL. I think Dortmund are a little bit off the pace tonight, but you know, Palestri's been impressive, says Sal. David has gifted 5 memberships as well. And the second goal, Maguire, Delot, goes back to Heaton. There's a good press from Dortmund here. I think Heaton's pass into Lindelof is probably the wrong pass. And then Lindelof makes a big mistake. I mean, I think Heaton's got to go for Williams there. Lindelof's got to play to Williams as well. I think Lindelof and Heaton there. United obviously trying to play out from the back. Yeah, Lindelof plays a silly pass there. He does. I love Lindelof. I think he's been a really good player for us, but he plays a bad pass and it completely leaves us exposed. Aaron wants to watch Anana. Well, hopefully he will be coming on. I want to see a load of substitutions at half time. I don't know whether we will, but hopefully we will. Let me get that timer sorted for second half as well. Lindelof at fault for the second goal, says Cameron. Look, people are going to make mistakes, and it's pre-season. So if that's a home game against bloody Luton and we lose 1-0, then it's open season on Lindelof for doing something stupid, isn't it? Of course, you make a mistake, you're going to get it. You're going to get the criticism. But it is pre-season, and ultimately, I think that it's disappointing, obviously, to lose a couple of goals like that. But it is only pre-season, and you analyse the mistakes. And look, Brandon Williams is at fault for the first one. Let's be honest. And Delot, I think, should be tighter on Malen. The second one, Lindelof makes a mistake, and you're not going to have the recovery place from Maguire, are you? Which is a pace thing. But I think you've got to look at every goal and see what you can do better. Certainly what Ten Hag will be doing. Something I've seen in this pre-season is a clear progress in our ability to keep possession and our build-up, says Lucas. And I think Williams was pointing for Lindelof to play it forward to midfield, which is why Lindelof was giving him grief after, says McElvis. Yeah, I don't really understand what that was all about. Did you see Williams mouthing off to Lindelof, says Dammy? Yeah, well, it's like Fee says, it's a bit of a bonkers pass from him. But look, going back to what I said at the first half, there's a lot of players who are starting in this game here. Let's get it up on screen. Don't forget, we're sponsored by OneFootball. I'll put it on the screen for you. You can scan the QR code next to me to download it for free. Links in the video description as well. Get all your latest breaking football news and transfer news. Are free to download, Apple and Android. And they also have their stats individualized as well. So as you could see with our stats being all about the team, they do it individually as well. So you can see pass completion, etc. So check that out. Links in the video description. But I was going to come back to here. Looking at that team there, if we're being completely honest, Heaton's probably going to go. Maguire should go. Williams should go. McTominay should go. Donny should go. Just to get, and I'm not saying they're bad players, but for their careers, I think they should go. Forson's clearly not going to play. So really, out of those players that started the game, Palestri's probably going to get loaned as well. It clearly is a B team, so we're probably being a bit unfair analysing it as much as we have. Warren says, I love the channel. In your opinion, do you think Palestri will break through this season? I think he's got potential, says Warren. I really do like Palestri. Really do like Palestri, but I don't think his future at United looks like he's anywhere near being given an opportunity this coming season. I think that Erik ten Hag is likely to loan him out. I just hope that the loan deal is a beneficial one in the sense that it's not some mid-table Eredivisie side. I want it to be a Premier League side. I think he's, if he's going to have a future at United, he's got to be playing in the Premier League. Quinn says, Mark, recently my mum's been diagnosed with terminal cancer. Thanks for the content. You're helping my mental health massively at this tough time. Well, Quinn, I think I share everybody in the chat's thoughts there that's obviously devastating news, and thought goes out to you and your mum, and there's not a lot I can say. It's very, very difficult, and I'm glad that you can find a place where you can feel part of something and escape and be part of a community, which is what we are, and we get a lot of those messages about people who really do appreciate it, and a large part of that's the community as well. It's you in the live chat, so it's amazing what we've built. And obviously, Quinn, I'm glad we can help in a little way in what is obviously a very testing and trying time. Calcius, welcome to United Stand Members Club. Thank you very much for joining in there. Nice to see some nice comments coming in as well for Quinn. Love that. We need to keep Palestri this season and bring him up more often. He's more direct and confident than other wide players except Garnacho in our squad. He takes on defenders successfully. I think you probably hit the nail on the head there. I think Palestri's chances have been limited because Ten Hag probably sees Garnacho as a similar type of winger. Just waiting to see if we're going to get all these changes at half time here. Hopefully we will. Really do not want to see another hour, another 15 minutes of that team. I think there's no point. Most of them won't be playing for the first team. Get the first team some minutes on the pitch right now. Come on, the first team, says KM. Exactly. Make sure you subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. We are on the road to 702,000, I think. So bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We've over 20,000 at 3 o'clock in the morning, which is absolutely fantastic. Absolutely incredible. Thoughts are with you, says Prime for Quinn. Lovely stuff. Has Martial played any pre-season minutes yet, says Kevin? No. I don't think he's far off, but obviously it's been about training with the team and building up that recuperation. It's interesting that Dean Henderson also hasn't played any minutes, and somebody said to me a lot of that might be down to fitness as well, because he's actually recovering from an injury as well. So possession was great, but Maguire, a genuine letdown, just played it back and got pressured. At least Lindelof was playing forward, says Sean. And Johnny says, what are your thoughts on Lindelof not passing to Williams and the way Williams responded? Well, I don't know. I don't know why Lindelof played that risky pass instead of playing a simple pass to Brandon Williams, who he'd passed to quite a few times. Will you be doing a watch-along for the Dublin game? Yeah, we'll do both games at the weekend, Ryan. So Lens on Saturday lunchtime and Bilbao in Dublin on the Sunday afternoon. Looking forward to those. And then just a few more days and we'll be playing Wolves in the opener. Cal has been a member for 25 months. You're a legend, mate. It's the same team coming out for the second half. I just don't get that. I don't get that. I don't get it. I don't. I mean, look, I'm not crying about it or anything like that, but I don't get why you give your reserves an hour. And, the first team should be playing. It is a bit weird, and it's surprising because you're on tour in America. Like, which means on the tour of America, only 2 games out of 4 of the first team played a lot of minutes. So, look, Ten Hag will say, I'm the manager, I do what I want. and I've got my reasons for it. And of course, we have to respect that. But brand Manchester United doesn't benefit. And people say, who gives a shit about brand Manchester United? But people want to see an Arna. You know, they want to see Rashford. They want to see Bruno in half an hour. When you paid what, $200? I don't know. We back the manager, of course. I need to just get the second half timer for you here. It's going to do the same thing again, so get ready. Oh, Onana is on. So you've got Onana. There's one thing. Gotham City. Don't worry, we haven't kicked off yet. I'm just waiting for the timer. Maybe the first team has pissed him off, says Chris. Maybe. Maybe. There was some story about... I can't remember where it came from. There was some story that Ten Hag had commented about how Rashford wasn't at the level he wanted to be. So maybe... I mean, James is right. He doesn't look particularly happy. Second half's about to kick off. And Sancho kicks it off. There we go. Timer's going for you as well. Lovely stuff. How can we respect the fact that we have lazy players on the pitch who can't even pass a ball properly? It's speechless, says Tom Grant. Thanks for your super chat, Tom. So we've got Onana now. Oh, it's just one player makes it better. Yeah, he's got to get Onana involved. See, Maguire's pass there is horrible for Delo. But what a ball by Onana into Maguire. Unbelievable. That pass there from Maguire to Delo was horrible. Delo goes back to Onana and he plays it through 3 Dortmund players into Maguire's feet with space. I paid $800 for one ticket, ground level, for the Madrid game, and we got bicycle kicked on. I will say, though, every time Maguire got the ball, the whole stadium was booing, which was sad, says Ali. Onana's always calm, says Mr. I just loved that pass by Onana then. Look at McTominay again as the holding midfielder. Look at him. He's never in a position to take the ball. Look at him. He's never in a position to take the ball, is he? I've just watched him for 10 seconds. Look at him. He's never in space. Donny, there we go. Nice. Delo. Anthony. Ericsson on the edge. What's that? I don't know whether the Dortmund players tried to lob Onana there from distance. Yeah, I agree with you, Ali. McTominay is not a holding midfielder. He's a centre midfielder. He doesn't know how to come and find the space, and that's always been a problem for him. They're in again. What are we doing? Great save by Onana. Can't set. And what is he? What's Onana doing? He's shouting at somebody there. I don't know who he's shouting at. Great save by Onana, but he wasn't happy with someone, was he? He was not happy with somebody there, and it was hard to see. Well, he seemed to be shouting at Maguire, but I couldn't see whether Maguire's mistake... Ooh, God, Dortmund are up for it now. I'll tell you what, I'm all for that. I'm all for that from Onana. And that's what I was talking about. You know, when we were talking about replacing De Gea, I always said that if you're going to replace De Gea, the boots are so big, the shirt is so heavy. And I saw it after Schmeichel, Barthez and Bosnich. They just couldn't do it. But I said about Onana, he's got that immense belief and personality and box office pull that he will not... I'm not concerned about Onana, you know, sinking under the pressure. He's one of the few goalkeeper personalities in world football that you'd drop him in the Bernabeu, you'd drop him in the Nou Camp, you'd drop him in Old Trafford, and he would just take on it. Our new keeper screaming at Maguire, says Mank in Chicago. I've got to be fair, I don't know what Maguire did wrong there. I don't know whether he was involved in the reason that we lost possession, but it looked to me like it was Donny or Ericsson who lost the ball. It was Maguire. Maguire was pointing at Scooby-Doo versus chasing the run, and Onana had enough of Slabhead, just like us, says Sumi. Dan says I think he was screaming at Lindelof. Didn't look like it was Lindelof, to be fair. Maybe it was, I don't know. Look, it doesn't matter who he's shouting at, really, does it? It's the sort of things... I mean, you've got to be an older fan to do this, but if that reminds me of anything, it reminds me of Peter Schmeichel. It's exactly what Peter Schmeichel used to do. He used to get into arguments with his defenders all the time. But Dortmund could have been 3-1 up. Looks like he's going to make changes in a minute. All the big lads are coming on. All the first teamers are warming up. Onana already calling out Harry's stupid pointing, says Mank in Chicago. Hi Mark, I'm at the game and Onana's schooling Maguire got the loudest cheer, says Sachin. I don't really like the victimisation of it, really. But I'll tell you what I do think, though. I do think if I was some of these players flying back tonight from Vegas to Manchester, there's a few I'd be thinking I've got to find. I'd be messaging my agent saying get me a move, because the writing's been on the wall for some of these players for a long time, and I think that it's very clear that they're just not going. They've not done anything on the tour that makes you think they've got a future. And obviously Maguire will be an obvious one. I still think McTominay. I think Brandon Williams. I think Donny's probably going to have to go. Here's Pellistri. Delo has done well there. But I tell you what. It's a goal! It's a goal! I don't know who scored it. It's Anthony. It's Anthony. It's 2-2. He's passed it into the bottom corner. And as somebody in the chat says Anthony needs to do better, he just passes it in to make it 2-2. Bit sloppy defending from Dortmund this time, and Anthony's there to pounce. And I tell you what, I was just about to say this. We're not creating chances in the box, but sometimes those chances come to you. It's another assist by Donny, technically. I don't think Donny knows a lot about it. But it's a bad clearance by Dortmund, and Donny just lays it off. And Anthony just steps into it and whacks it in the bottom corner. Never going to save that keeper. Onana excites me, says Edgar. Just watching him doing simple stuff is so exciting. Casido instead of Mount would have been exciting signing all round, says Edgar. And when was the last time you've been to a United game, says Alexi? I think the last one I went to was actually pre-COVID. I haven't been for the last couple of years. Actually, quite shocked at the way Onana shouted, says Damon. Yeah, I like Anthony, and I really hope he's going to have a good season for United. I really do. But yeah, look, I know we've scored a couple of goals tonight, but you look at the chances that Dortmund have created, and we do need to be better, but we haven't got a striker at the moment. I think it's difficult to create chances. It just seems like United score by accident, says Stephen. Yeah, the patterns of play and the construction isn't quite there at the moment. David says Anthony actually did really well. It's a long way around Sully. Thoughts on Brandon Williams, says Tyler. He seems to have since the mistake. He seems to have struggled a bit, but he's in down the left hand side and a bit unlucky there. Tried to get the cross. It was a good over. He's done well there. He's got forward well there. Lovely pass though by, I think it was Ericsson who got him in. Oh, it's a lovely pass by Ericsson, and to be fair, I think Williams took too long there. It was a first time cross to Sancho, and I think he probably took it a little bit long, but overlap was good. Ericsson with the free kick. Ericsson with the corner. I played the game, says Ryan. And CeeLo says, I'd be very frustrated if I'd paid to watch this. I think that's just because of the lack of first team players, isn't it? Morning, Mark. Do you think Hojlund will train with the squad this week? Also, can you see an Amrabat here we go this week, says Daly. I hope so. I hope so on both. I don't see any reason why Hojlund won't be holding the shirt up Tuesday or Wednesday. Amrabat might be dependent on sales. We might have to wait a bit. And Ben says, Onana's save before he was shouting was world class. It was a good save. It was a good save, Ben. It was. Do you think we'll win, Mark? I think we're going to make about 8 changes in a minute. And yeah, I think our team will be better than theirs for the last half an hour. Edgar's watching from North Carolina. Our pressing's been very good this game, says Ivan. There is no sign of a systematic attack building in the second year. When will you start looking at the coaching and the managers, says Sakin? Not at the moment, because I think if you can't polish a turd. If he hasn't got the players to do it, he's going to have to bring them in. Do you think any of the newly promoted teams can stay up? And who gets promoted next season, says Alexi? Got no idea. Probably the 3 that got relegated. Do I think any of the newly promoted teams will stay up? Probably Burnley. I think Sheffield United and Luton probably go down, but none of them went down last year, did they? All 3 promoted teams stayed up. Fulham, Forest and... was it Bournemouth? Elle says, I don't know how you stay so consistent, but it's much appreciated. Well, I've got a great audience. Always helps. Thank you very much. I've enjoyed the game, even if it's the reserves, says Aiden. Come on, Ten Hag. I can't believe he's given the reserves fucking an hour. Watching from the first state, Delaware, says Kate. Thank you. It's 20 past 10 in Barbados, says Alan. Lovely turn of pace by Mallon. United have got a lot of players back though. Not Mallon, Adeyemi. Here's Adeyemi again. And he's in again. Mallon, I think he's going to win a corner. 18k viewers at 3 AM is class, says Richie. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I didn't realise we had that many. We will have a 10 o'clock show in the morning, by the way. Make the subs now, says Parser. Dortmund with a corner. Eriksen's been a bit sloppy, says Dylan. I like Eriksen, but his lack of physicality and movement are the things I don't like. Oh, onto the bar from a header. Who's marking who? Who's marking up there? How did the football go the other day? Says Dino. Don't talk to me about it. Not happy. I'm not happy, Dean. Nepotism. It was like being managed by Southgate. Come on, it's 30 seconds till an hour. Get them on. Lovely ball, lovely ball. Side netting again from Adeyemi. And I think that's going to be all the subs now. Yeah, Williams is just... I think Williams' second half has just struggled a bit. Maguire got beat in the air there by Hummels. He's got the jump on him. Oh, it goes off Maguire onto the bar. It's a good header by Maguire. Bloody hell. I thought it was Hummels. He'd be bloody glad it would then. Anyway, all the subs now. I think literally everyone's going to come off here. Keep an eye on the stats next to us. Eriksen's definitely off. I think Sancho's staying on by the looks of it. Rashford's coming on. So I think Sancho's going to stay on down the middle for half an hour. Rashford off the left. Luke Shaw's on. Martinez on. Wan-Bissaka's on. Casemiro's on. Bruno's on. Mount's on. Anthony will stay on the right. Dortmund making a few changes as well. This looks like a sale match. 60-minute showcase of Maguire, Williams and McTominay and Donny. 30 minutes for the main team. You might be right, Decoy. Hi, Mark. Ever thought about coming to Australia? My Sunday League side needs a new manager. Can promise you a good wage and cheap beer. Says, mate, I'll move to Australia and manage a team. But I want Saudi wages. The commute would be a pain in the arse as well. If only we haven't fumbled Kim Min-jae's deal, says Faris. And what happened to Garnacho, Mark, says Detta. Apparently Garnacho and Varane are both precautionary left out. So they've probably both got a knock. I mean, it's not good news. You don't want to even hear about that with Varane, do you? Anana. Oh, nah. Of course, Mason Mount's on the pitch now. I mean, he's another new signing. We want to not really seen much from Mount so far. Packet of crisps and a kangaroo. That's my best offer, says Ghost Vibes. Cuckoo's on as well for Dortmund. Good pressing by United here. I'd like to see us create a few chances now. First team's on. Fresh legs. Malacia didn't go on tour casually. He's got a bit of a knock, so hopefully we'll get some updates from him. I would hope we get a press conference from Ten Hag back in Manchester this week. Joey says, do you think Rashford will replicate the same performance as he did last season, or are you expecting a drop-off? No, I think Rashford will do it. 50,000 in attendance, says John. No, I think Rashford will score a lot of goals again next year. We were very reliant on him last year. There's no reason to expect him not to do it this year, especially if he's can stay as fit as he was. And he tends to get in a. I think with Rashford, he tends to get in a run, doesn't he? I don't think he ended the season particularly well. I don't think he scored many goals in the last couple of months, but he goes on those remarkable bursts of form. So Casemiro in the sitting role, Mount in the Eriksen role, Bruno playing at 10. Hi Mark, love the channel. Any chance getting Faz or Beth to do an ad read for Manscapes? Is Kay? That's weird. That's weird. Sorry, got no comments. Oh, here we go. Rashford. Oh, Mount's not there. Oh my God, Wan-Bissaka. What was that? What was that, Wan-Bissaka? Back post, running onto it. Absolutely skies it. Lovely ball by Sancho into Rashford though. And oh, it's not a good finish by Wan-Bissaka. It's not good. What other centre-back could United go for now that they've missed out on Kim Min-jae and Disasi? Says Kai. I don't know, mate. I don't know. I don't know, Kai. We were definitely... What I do know is that we were definitely in for a couple of centre-backs from France. So obviously, I think it's Todibo, isn't it? Might be the other one. But Spurs are in for him. Oh, I think Mounier's injured himself there. Pre-season. Probably just done his hamstring. Yeah, he's gone. Thoughts on new transfers compared to other clubs, says Dean. Yeah, you can't really judge it until the season's up and running, you know. Pre-season's interesting, but Mason Mount's not really looked anything special in pre-season. Play against Wolves, he might be bloody brilliant. So I think Onana is a transformative signing. I think Hojlund's a very exciting signing. Mount is a player that Ten Hag was obsessed with. So look, Amrabat I think is a very interesting player as well. MLB, thank you very much for your super chat, pal. Edgar says, I'm worried about Mount. It's way too early to be worried about Mount. Is Johnny Evans better than Harry Maguire? Well, he's on the pitch at the moment. I suppose Adam, thank you very much for your super chat. I suppose it's quite interesting, really, isn't it? Because I'd not really thought about it like that. Johnny Evans could have just played with Harry Maguire in the first half and then had Lindelof and Martinez in the second half. Or he could have played Lindelof and Evans and put Maguire with Martinez in the second half. And yet he's put Johnny Evans with Martinez in the first team for half an hour. They're in again, Dortmund. He's offside, don't worry. He's offside. Alex Johnson, thanks for your super chat. I don't know. If you said to me who's better, and we can do a poll, but I don't think there's any point doing a poll because I know what'll happen. I think people will do it on who they like and not who's the better player. I think Maguire has to be better than Johnny Evans, but people will say it's Evans because they like him better. I live in LA. The ball from Wan-Bissaka just hit my window. That's from Arturo. Martinez into Luke Shaw. There will be a quick match reaction after this. Obviously, I'm very interested in getting into bed at what will be probably about 4:15 in the morning by the time I've done that. But I will do a quick match reaction for you. Got Fabrizio on the show tomorrow at 2:30 UK time. The morning show will be at 10 o'clock, and I'll obviously be back on the 8 o'clock show. But we've got Fabrizio on tomorrow, so we should be able to get some good updates, especially on the outgoings. I'm interested to know, what the ambitions of some of these United players are. Look at Onana there. I don't think I've seen him play a bad pass. Luke Shaw's just caught a knock. I think he's all right. Expectations for the season, says Alex. Absolutely no chance of winning the league. That's all I can say. I think the top four race this season has got the potential to be something really. Jeff says I can't vote against Kinsman. I think the top four race is dangerous this year because you could put Liverpool in it, United in it, Arsenal in it, Newcastle in it. Dortmund have got a 4v3. What a goal. What a goal that is. Makuku, 3-2. And again, they've just broke on us. Royce with the assist. And again, we're conceding similar goals. Defensively, there's going to be questions asked again. Bad pass by Wan-Bissaka. He's then out of position. Johnny Evans is all over the place. And then Makuku gets the run on Luke Shaw. Nothing Onana can do. Ramiro says Onana's passing is really impressive. Yeah, I don't think Johnny Evans fools himself with... But yeah, I mean, similar goals that we've conceded, really. Oh, here we go. Rashford. No, should have passed it. Again, in the final third, just no conviction. No fluidity. I want Makuku badly. I wish we went for him, says Ivan. Well, there was a chance, but he signed a new contract, didn't he? But I think fitness-wise, we've been good. Intensity-wise, we've been good. But in the final third, lacking a plan. And at the back, a little bit sloppy. And that's why we're 3-2 down. Here we go. Bit of space for Anthony. He's not really been in the game much. Nice ball into Sancho in the box. And then, again, what we got? Mount, Luke Shaw. He's put it in the right area there. It looks like a bad cross, but he's put it in the right area for a striker there. Thomas says Mount's going under the radar a little bit. Nitish says Johnny Evans is too old to play in the league now. A few people getting on Wan-Bissaka's back. We look shit going forward, says Tom. Love Ten Hag, but where is the attacking football? Brighton players can do it. These players should be doing more. Oh, I just realised I haven't had a stretch all game. Bloody needed it. I bloody needed it. Massive drop off since the hour mark, says Simpson. And Jeffro, thank you very much for your super chats. At the game in Vegas, and I'm a bit disappointed, says Andy. Well, here we go. Here's Rashford. Come on, look for a pass. Too greedy again. Too greedy. Rashford looks to me like he's treating it like an exhibition and he wants to score an individual goal. Like, if he did that at Old Trafford, he'd have been shouted at. It's happened a couple of times in the last 2 minutes. Look, the pass is on every bloody time and he just holds on to it for too long. He's never got his head up once. Oh, come on. Here we go. Luke Shaw. Ricky's going to be spinning, says Greg. Uh, 62% if you think Johnny Evans is better than Harry Maguire, by the way. Lovely ball here. And he's offside. Looking for those. Again, look. I'm going to write this down for the match reaction. There's a certain type of goal that we tried to score. It's that transitional long ball. One man's transitional football is another man's long ball, isn't it? Sancho full 90 at false night. Comeback season, says Adam. I'm afraid that Mount could be a flop, says Kel. And George says that asking who is better between Maguire and Evans is like choosing between the lame and the blind. Look, I'd rather we were a bit off it in pre-season and ready for the start of the season than what happened last year where we looked very good in pre-season and then lost our first two. Do you prefer Rashi or Vinicius Jr.? Mate, Noah, I think we all know the answer to that. Joe Hugel's going to come on now for Sancho. Evans plus Maguire should have played first half with Martinez and Lindelof second half. Also, I see a scenario where Sancho plays better than Rashford, but he never starts. That's FIFA crazy. Seems to be just long ball after long ball at the moment. No passing places. Ollie, thank you very much. Ollie, please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. We're live every night at 8 o'clock, every morning at 10 o'clock. We've got Fabrizio Romano on the show at 2:30 tomorrow. We'll be talking about transfers. You know what? We might do better in the next 15 minutes because at least Joe Hugel's a striker. There's Luke Shaw. Well, I don't think many of us thought Dortmund would win this. And I don't think they should have won it. And I don't think they have won it yet. There's still time, but they're certainly in a winning position here. Dortmund's Sully is huge, but he's quick. Yeah, he's always been quick, Chiri. Martinez. Johnny Evans. Wan-Bissaka. Sorry, Anthony, that is. Into Casemiro. Lovely ball by Mount. Quick ball by Mount. Comes to Rashford. He's going to swerve and hit this. Into corner. Even then, I think he should have passed it to Luke Shaw. Might have been a bit harsh there, but... There's Bruno off the corner. Nice little ball. Rashford. Luke Shaw. Enjoy writing says, how's our football, Mark? Just joining. Pretty much the same as it's been all tour, really. And last season. Little bit, well, lacking ideas in the final third and very dependent on transition. At the game, travelled from Canada, liking what I see with Onana. This transition is going to take time, says Stephen Gallagher. Bruno with the cross to the back post. Oh, headed straight at the keeper. I think it was Johnny Evans that time. Ten to go. Can United get a goal back? Equalise. Sha la 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 la. Sha la 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 la. Here's Onana. He's been a joy to watch. Nice ball by Johnny Evans there. Anthony. Eric Ten Hag has spent 430 million, but apparently the Glazers don't spend, says Jay. Mate, thanks for the super chat, but you've got no idea what you're talking about. So I don't think any United fan can be asked to talk to people about the Glazers when those people, like yourself, can't be asked to do your research. You're talking about, it's like sticking your nose in a beehive. You're just going to get stung because you've got no idea about the Glazers. Tired of listening to rivals saying, oh, you spent all this money, but people moan about the Glazers. It's not about that. They don't spend their own money. They spend our money. They spend our revenue. It's not the Glazers' money. It's the most idiotic thing that you hear from rivals on the regular. But people say the Glazers don't spend. They don't. They've never spent a pound of their own money. We gave Mount our number 7 at that point. I knew United's era of greatness was officially over, says Hector. Where have you been for the last 10 years, Hector? We've not had any greatness for 10 years. Anthony's work rate is great to see, says Parser. Sam says he's doing well. I'd love to see some service for Hugo, says Chris. Chance for United to whip a cross in here. Wan-Bissaka can't play Ten Hag ball because he's too poor in possession and they lead to goals like that. Can see why he wanted Frimpong, says Robble. Well, yeah, I mean, look. It's a lovely cross. Oh, what a cross by Bruno. We should be scoring that. Rashford's on the back post. Don't know how easy a chance it is, but bloody hell, it's such a good cross. No, yeah, he probably should do better. He's got stuck under his foot, Rashford there. Yeah, he's looked a bit disengaged again, I suppose. That's what people would say. Here he is, though. Come on, Rashi. Come on, Rashi. Oh, good shot, good save. And Anthony misses the follow-up. Bloody hell. Should have been 2-2 there. Should have been 3-3, sorry. You can't take goals off. Rashford does well with the shot. Keeper saves it. And then Anthony on his right foot. Surprise, surprise. Cilla Black. But that transition football is causing them problems. That ball over the top, I suppose, is what you call it. Is this the way Amarillo? Every time I'm hugging my pillow. Anthony, working hard, lovely ball. Wan-Bissaka, come on, play the angle, play the angle. Rashford. Pass one. Probably overhit the pass there a bit. Anthony needs to work on his weaker foot, says Chris. He plays it into Mount. He's got it back. Here's Martinez. Oh, flick and the keeper's got it. Well, tell us who's been your standout players from this game. Martinez bringing it forward. And here we go, here we go. Oh, Sancho misses this time. We've had the chances to make it 3-3. Not clinical enough. Here we are again. Bruno, lovely bit of skill, but Dortmund are hanging on here a bit. Oh, we definitely had the chances, haven't we? You can't say we haven't had the chances. Sancho wasn't even on the pitch. What am I talking about? I'm getting delirious. I'm like that person who said that Sancho's better than Martial. How do I get Sancho and Joe Hugel mixed up? That is tiredness. That is. Apologies, everybody. God. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Let me go to bed. Look at the movement, the ball, nothing. How would you describe our style of play? I think a video of our tactics under Ten Hag would be interesting, says Tom. Well, I'm going to talk about it in the match reaction because I said it in the other game. Keeper's done well there, to be fair. Made himself big. Yeah. I mean, it's only pre-season, but we shouldn't have lost this game, really. Should have at least got a draw. You think about the defensive mistakes, the chances we've missed. There's Dortmund, though. Good play. Oh, and Arnold will get hold of that. Yeah, defence has looked weak in both halves. I mean, obviously Varane hasn't played, which is a big point. Midfield probably hasn't shielded as well. And then in the final third, we just haven't attacked well again. Don't worry, Rasmus bags that with the cheeky left, says Jaron. Mark, it's been nearly 7 years of Rashford and I just don't see any development, says Chris. Hojlund sweeps that to his left and finishes, says Robble. Very underwhelming, says McAlvis. Biggest sign of improvement is creating chances when opposition play defensive. Dortmund sitting very deep but doing well to get through them, says Michael Pedley. Yeah, most of it's long balls. Are you more yet knackered than the Wrexham game? No, that was hard. Love the signing, but how will Rasmus have any success with the shit service we provide, says Jaffro? Well, look, Anthony and Rashford have got to start passing with Hojlund or anybody. They've got to start passing because if they don't, he won't get any service. I'm going to talk about it on the match reaction, but when it comes to United and it comes to us in the final third, Do you ever think we've got a plan? Do you ever feel like we know what we're doing? Do you ever feel like we're designing something? Or do you think it's just like vibes? Because it feels to me like it's vibes. Construction of goals doesn't seem to be there the way that it would be for a Man City. There's no coherent, identifiable structure in our build-up. And look, you can lose every game in pre-season. It doesn't matter. Enjoy writing. Thank you very much. Defence has looked weak. Midfield isn't balanced either. Bruno Mount not working. Attack is individualistic, says Kay. I think that's a great point about Bruno and Mount as well. Can they work together? And if they can't work together, why did we spend £55 million on Mount? I don't want to be in a situation where you've got to play Bruno or Mount or shift one of them to the wing, because then I don't think that works. So they've got to find a way of working together, and obviously Ten Hag thinks it will. But we'll do a quick match reaction after this, because there's a few things I want to sort of pick up on. Dortmund on the attack again. 90 minutes are gone. Referee could just blow. It's given a free kick. It won't blow yet. Timothy says the B team looked a bit more organised. Another loss, says Liam. Calm down, says 101. Yeah, I think look, the result to me doesn't massively matter. It's the... Well, I'll tell you in the match reaction, because otherwise I'm just wasting time doing it here. But there are things that concern me, but it's not the results. It's pre-season, like many of you say. I'm not going to go mad because we lost 3-2 to Dortmund or we lost to Real Madrid. The things that slightly concern me are the similarities between the things that we're doing on tour that we were doing last season. I don't see any progression in the way that we play football from last season, but then you could also say, well, Onana's only played 1.5 games and we haven't got the striker yet. D says we should keep Donny. Yeah, but look, the Donny thing's very easy for me to tell you about. Even if he stays, he's 7th choice. Why would you stay as 7th choice? Why should he stay? Why should we keep him? He's not going to start. He's not going to start over Bruno. He's not going to start over Eriksen. He's not going to start over Mount. So I don't really see the point in keeping Donny. I don't mind the player. I like him, in fact, but I don't see the point in keeping him. Can't say that Ten Hag's looked happy all night. So you can say it's only pre-season, and it is only pre-season, but I don't think Ten Hag has looked happy all night at all. Casemiro boots it clear. Let's give Rashford another raise, says Christopher. Defence is not good, says G&G. Referee's adding a lot of time on here for a pre-season game. 93 minutes, still going. Dortmund on the attack again. In the box. Cross comes in. Headed away by Luke Shaw. Headed back by Casemiro. Onana's got it. He releases it quickly. The referee still wants to play. Lovely kick. So accurate into Rashford, and then Rashford loses the ball. And that's it. It's a full-time game. It's a full-time game, isn't it always? It's a full-time game. It's Manchester United losing 3-2. We'll talk about it on the match reaction. It is only pre-season, of course, but in another way, there's a few things that are still a concern that hopefully we can solve in the next week or so. As well as Hojlund, United could do with someone like the 17-year-old from Sparta Rotterdam, only young but burns past people and would leave most Premier League defenders standing in ashes, says Nerves. Thank you very much. And Jack says, Rashford cannot be the main man. He started doing good when Ronaldo left, meaning no pressure on him. When the spotlight falls on him, he becomes I'm too good guy. There we go, from Jack of all trades. Right, I'll see you over on the match reaction. I'm not going to take long to do it because it's very late or early in the morning. But there are a few things we need to discuss. I'll speak to you over there in a minute.